Welcome. In this video, we're going to begin our orientation of Jenkins by creating a job. First, I'm going to open up my browser and go to our local Jenkins installation, which is at localhost:8080. This opens up our local Jenkins installation. If you land on the login page, provide your username and password for the admin account we created earlier. Then click Login. Otherwise, if you reach this page immediately after the installation, then Jenkins may remember you from before and place you on the dashboard. Once on the dashboard, notice on the left-hand side that we have several items which are high level. We have our build queue, which there's nothing in the queue, and we have our build executor status. We'll go into this more as we build jobs. And right in the middle, when you first start and there aren't any jobs created, you'll have a nice little inviting message to create a new job. Let's do that now. Click on the Create New Jobs link. We land on the New Item or New Job page, which we will visit often. In Jenkins, jobs and projects are interchangeable, so keep that in mind as we navigate around. Since we did not install any plugins during our installation process, we are presented with only one type of project that comes natively with Jenkins, the Freestyle project. Alright, let's provide a name in the item name field at the top. Let's call our first job Hello World, and then click on the Freestyle project, which is the only option right now. And finally, click on the OK button. The next screen is to actually configure this job. Technically, the job or project is already created and available in Jenkins, but only with the default configuration. However, most of the time, we will want to change the default configuration by adding build steps or other instructions to the job. Before moving on, let's review this page. Again, since we didn't install any plugins, there isn't a whole lot on this page yet. However, we can see that Jenkins can provide some reasonable basic functionality as it stands now. You can navigate around quickly by clicking on the tabs at the top to jump directly to specific parts of the configuration page. Another reason why there's not a lot here is that the bulk of the work can be done with build steps, which are added individually, as well as post-build actions, which happen after the build. Let's start off with our first build step. I'm going to click on Add Build Step, which takes me to a nice drop-down. Since I'm on a Windows system, I'm going to select Execute Windows Batch command. If you're on Mac or Linux, choose Execute Shell instead. Before entering the command in our command box here in Jenkins, let's try it out on the command line first. In this case, since I'm running a Windows Batch command, I will need to open the Windows command prompt, which I have set up on my taskbar. You can also find it on the Start menu, which you will find it in the Windows System folder. If you are running Mac or Linux, open your terminal. In this particular case, the command will work exactly the same way in either shell environment. The command we're going to use is echo. Type echo space and then in double quotes, hi, then press enter. And as you might imagine, the echo command simply echoes or repeats whatever you pass into the echo command. Such a simple command is practically universal. This is all we're going to have Jenkins do right now. Of course, we're going to do much more elaborate things later. Now that we're done with the command prompt or terminal, let's close it and return to Jenkins in the browser. Back on the configuration page, in the build section, type in the same command in the command text box. Echo space hi in double quotes. Once we've done that, we can click on the Save button. Great. After saving the configuration for our first job, it lands us on our project's main page. I'm currently on the main page of our project, also known as a job. Since we're here, we're going to click on the Build Now button to fire off our job's execution. Click that now. You can see the build was scheduled and responds very quickly under the build history with a blue ball. The blue ball actually means success, and if we click on the ball, we can see the console output for that job. Like I demonstrated a few moments ago, using the echo command simply prints out whatever you pass into it back to the console, which Jenkins dutifully captures in its logs. If I wanted to, I could simply see the output as plain text. But I will warn you that if you do that, you will need to use your browser back button to get back to the Jenkins interface. Another piece of the Jenkins UI is that we need to take notice of the breadcrumb, which is this listing where you are in the Jenkins UI. We have Jenkins at the top level, Hello World, which is the name of our job or project, and then which build number I'm on, which I'm on build number 1. I can click on build number 1 to return to the main page for this specific build. I can get back to the console output by clicking on the console output menu item. I also have the option to delete the build, which I may do later, but not right now. I can click on Back to Project or click on Hello World, which is our project. We just created our first job in Jenkins and ran our first build. Granted, it didn't do a lot, but we had to start somewhere. In the next lesson, we're going to continue looking at the Jenkins UI by returning to the Jenkins dashboard now that we have our first job created.